page.
Welcome back to the exhibit hall at Eyes On 2022. I am your program chair and co-host in the exhibit hall, Dr. Damon Durker. I'm excited for our next session title, which is Eye Handbook for eye care professionals and eye patient. These are actually apps that have been created by a couple of retina specialists. So let's welcome Dr. Ken Lord, who is a visual retinal specialist in St. George, Utah, and Dr. Vinay Shah, who is a visual retinal specialist in Oklahoma. Dr. Lord, Dr. Shah, welcome to Eyes On 2022. You can see that we've reached happy hour here in the exhibit hall, enjoying some nice wine from Jessup Cellars. We've got over 10,000 people have registered for this event. I heard from our team that over 4,000 people have participated in today's events already. So this has just been fantastic. Thank you for supporting this, and I'm interested in learning a little bit more about you and about your products.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. And thank you for the opportunity, Damon. And we look forward to chatting with you.
So we've got two different apps that you've created, and I'm sure this has been a labor of love. How long is this? How much work and how much time have you guys spent on these endeavors?
Ken and I, first of all, I want to thank you. And, Ken and I would like to thank all the audience for spending their Friday evening with us. I appreciate the wine, and hopefully everybody has the opportunity of sipping some great wine or drink of your choice as we go over the next 20 minutes. We've actually been at this for about 12 years now. And this is actually, as you said, rightly said, this is labor of love. And Ken and I, in 2008, 2009, we were residents at the University of Missouri in Kansas City. And when the iPhone came out about 2008, Ken had this new amazing device. And we thought that how in the world can we use this great asset that Steve Jobs have developed to improve the life both of ourselves and our patients, and how we could actually garner the ability of this device to make our practices efficient and provide efficient eye care.
So which came first, the eye handbook or the eye patient?
It was actually Eye Handbook. So Eye Handbook is a free application that you can download either on your Apple device or your Android device. It is actually currently the most popular of the eye care app in the world. It has about a 50-50 distribution US and out of US. We have about 5 million downloads. We have over 90,000 unique devices that use the app. We have about 27,000 unique users on a monthly basis that use this app for in their practices. So think about it as it's your toolkit, your eye care toolkit for you.
So what are some of the things that get accessed the most within that Eye Handbook, eye care professional geared app?
Sure. Probably the top 5 to 10 functions that we have. Top of it is calculators. So think about it. You are in your office and you're seeing a patient with Plaquenil and you want a Plaquenil dose calculator. Or maybe you're going to the operating room and you need an IOL calculator. That's available on the app. If you're operating and or you want to calculate somebody's BMI, you want to calculate their glaucoma risk, or even calculate, their amplitude of accommodation. Those calculators are readily available on the app. The second most common use is actually vision screening. So we have a near vision chart, we have color vision, contrast sensitivity. We even have the Worth 4-dot test on the app. So that's a really great way of using this app when, if you are in a bind, if you are in the hospital, if you are actually at home and you just want vision monitoring for your patients, this app is very helpful. The third most common use is actually we have an eye atlas. So if you want to show some pictures or share some fundus pictures or even slit lamp photographs with your patients, there's an atlas available. We have videos, which have educational videos that we have selected from YouTube mainly for educational purposes. And there's a nice, easy way of accessing that video directory on the app. We have forums, so peer-to-peer forums. So that's a great feature that you can use to share cases and learn more about anything you want in eye care. Coding is also used very much. So, we have the ICD-10 codes, ICD-9 to ICD-10 conversion, and also we have CPT codes on there, which are very easy to use. So there's a plethora of different tools that are available to help you in your practice.
So my guess with that variety of things that are available is that you probably have had a little bit of help from some other people in developing portions of this app. Would I be correct on that?
Absolutely. We are ophthalmologists that have just built this. It's a labor of love. It's an academic educational endeavor, and it's free, and it's always been free for our users. So we have had a lot of partners over the years that have helped us, given us calculators, given us images. Somebody came and gave us their whole library of images. So, and it just keeps growing. It's like this is just an aggregator. So we are just the aggregators for your content. If anybody is willing to, like, I just had a conversation with one of my optometry friends and said, hey man, we need to have like a contact lens a manual on there. The directory for contact lens keeps changing. The base curves change and the diameters change. And, you have these little booklets in your office, but it would be much easier if we can just have it on an app, and so we can, at any moment, we can update and change these things.
Yeah, we get a lot of the direction of the app development comes from users who give us feedback and say, hey, I want, like last year, someone said I really want what was it? The Ocular trauma score calculator. And so there was a study done that showed the potential of visual rehabilitation after ocular trauma. And so we met with the person that was involved in that and built them a calculator, and it's on the app. So we, like Vinay, Dr. Shah talked about, I mean, it is definitely a labor of love. It's not only keeping up with the different requirements from Apple and Google, but there's constant improvements that we're trying to make the app more user-friendly, to make content available that is pertinent and relevant, and to be contemporary with what's out there on other platforms. And so it's constant. We fortunately have got a good niche in this space, and we kind of know the direction that we want to go and need to go, and it's a labor of love. We work on it all the time.
So you said 50-50 U.S. and international in terms of the number of users. And you're both practicing retina specialists. Is this something that optometrists use on a regular basis as well?
Absolutely. I don't have the metrics in front of you, but I think at least 30% of our usership is optometrists. And we've worked lately, in fact, Vinay's referencing a contact lens guide. We're working on a version of that. We have the database for it. We just need to build the user interface, and other calculators that are more optometrically geared that we're adding to appeal more to and be an asset to our partners in eye care.
So looking to grow both the optometric market as well as the ophthalmology within the app?
Definitely, for sure.
Absolutely. Actually, we've
been very neutral in. Our goal has been to be very neutral in the product and its offering, and to appeal to both doctors.
Dr. Shah, you had some comments?
I was just saying that we actually also are trying to build a dry eye center. and that's very optometric driven and actually by an optometrist.
So Dry Eye Center, tell me a little bit more about that.
So we have a partner at the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville who's starting a dry eye center there, and he has envisioned having an ability to, have educational content on there, have some, all the different scores for dry eye. I'm not a dry eye specialist, so I don't want to try to be one. Here, we have way more specialists that probably are in the audience, but basically give a guide to the treating doctor and also give resources for the patients, including even coupons, ability to buy eye drops, sell eye drops by the doctor. So we're trying to make it a very comprehensive area for dry eyes. That's one of the next big steps.
No, that's great. I mean, it's such a huge problem. I'm heavily involved in that in my practice and in the education space. So I certainly welcome that addition. That's very exciting. So if it's free, what information do you require that a doctor give you as they register for that app?
Great question. So none of the registration is required by design. So all of our registration is voluntary. Now, some of the content sections of the app require registration. So we kind of incentivize users to register, but we have, even with the non-requirement to register, we have 67,000 users worldwide, or registered users. So there's certainly a lot larger number of people that use the app besides what are required to register. But that's kind of been our play, is that we want to make this free and available, registered or non. But to get it funded, we seek out pharmaceutical companies that want to use our platform as a medium, and to get that funding, they want data. They need the metrics. So we give them as much as we can without trying to be intrusive or prohibitive from a user interface standpoint.
And it sounds like the majority of active users are registered users, so people don't really mind, providing their name and practice, et cetera.
Yeah,
I think so.
We don't ask
Yeah.
for the. Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we don't actually ask for the practice name. It's name and your specialty and where you're located. That's probably the main thing. And if you want to give us the contact information, that's fine. But you don't have to register. 90% of the app is available to be accessed without registration. The biggest area of registration where we would want people to register, if you want to access it and or contribute to, is the forums, because you don't want to start talking about patient information, or at least issues with patient care, where it is possible that a non-physician, non-doctor is using the app. So that part of the app is actually where we really need registration, is where if you want to access the forums. Otherwise, all the tools, calculators, most of everything is available to non-registered users as well.
But I think we want to keep you guys funded and growing, so I would probably encourage my peers when they download the app, the Handbook, that they register so it can unlock all of the tools and make sure that continues to be free for everybody now and in the future. So what's amazing to me is that not only have you done this and you've grown this into a huge, the number one eye care app for professionals, you have a patient app too. I mean, you guys must not sleep a whole lot. I know I've heard that retina specialists are pretty busy to begin with, so I'm wondering where you find the time to not only have the eye handbook for eye care professionals, but the eye patients for patients. Tell me a little bit how that has evolved.
Sure. So about 4 years ago, we after meeting because we meet with these pharmaceutical companies and kind of gauge, what they're looking for and what their needs are. And we realized that there was going to be a need for a patient-specific product and platform, not only for doctors to reach their patients, but for companies to reach patients, and also for the patients to benefit from. And the conflict of 2020 has spurred a lot of innovative products because we've become more remote. We're doing things more virtually. And even this concept of autonomous vision monitoring and AI and so many things have become more forefront in the last 18 months. And we kind of are on that wave because we knew that there was a need for a patient-specific product, and we kind of came out at the right time. And we have this concept of iPatient, and yeah, we do work a lot. I mean, this is I spend time every day, and I think, some of the time that we spend at our level is more like steering the ship than actually. When we were residents, we were in the trenches developing content, and nowadays we're steering the ship, and we have a team behind us that just needs a little bit of guidance. And I think that's more of what we do nowadays. But this concept of iPatient, we had four main thrusts that iPatient needed to fulfill. It needed to do autonomous vision monitoring and do it well with the major diseases that we have. We needed a cheap, inexpensive, efficient way to determine disease progression, whether it was glaucoma, macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, cataracts. And this, while it needs more tech and enhancement and improvement over time, is seeking to accomplish that goal with vision monitoring over time. A very robust patient education platform. And if you look at the app, you'll see right away it's very patient education driven. So if you're contemplating surgery, or your patients are contemplating surgery, or they need information about dry eye or a procedure or a medicine, this is a very good resource for them. And then the next one is treatment adherence, whether you're keeping an appointment, getting to your injection, or taking your glaucoma medicines. We wanted to use the technology available to us to get patients to adhere to their treatments and get better outcomes. So that was the third focus. And then the fourth one was physician connection. We knew that having a relationship with patients gets better outcomes for their diseases. And so a positive physician relationship, not only does it help you on the web, it helps you with their disease regimen or treatment. So those were the four main things: vision monitoring, patient education, treatment adherence, and physician connection. And all those we've kind of packed into the app in different facets, but it seeks to achieve those things. Now, look, even though we've been working on this product for a long time and we're excited about it, it still has, there's still like some things that we're getting better at in a lot of ways. And as technology improves, and so many things, like so many cool things are being done. I mean, you can download an attachment, take a picture of do indirect ophthalmoscopy, and you can download an attachment and get a refraction on a smartphone nowadays. So so many great innovative products are being developed, and we're kind of in that trend, trying to develop the same innovative product for your patients to benefit from the same things that we benefit from as physicians. And it's the trend. Now, one of the barriers is, and I'll stop monologuing here, but one of the barriers is my patients are 60 and above, 70, 80, 90. I've got some centurions in my practice. They're not as tech savvy as our younger generation patients, but the trend is definitely that all these patients are going to be very mobilely savvy as they continue on, and we want to have the product available to them that they need.
So as we talk about Eyes On 2022 and innovation and taking what we've learned from this weekend and actually implementing it into practice, I think it's pretty straightforward on the Eyecare professional side of that. As you download the app, you register, you have all of these great tools, but how do you actually implement iPatient into your practice, and what are the main benefits of doing that?
Great question. So we built the physician interface for iPatient within iHandbook. So if you want to be listed as a doctor in iPatient, you register in iHandbook and you put in your physician information within iHandbook. And there's a directory, an iPatient doctor directory, and you'll be listed in the iPatient doctor directory, and all the interface for your practice contact information, all your personal biography and other stuff that's relevant for patients is managed through Handbook and the CMS that's built in Handbook, and it's pushed to the patient's device. So the goal is that every eye doctor recommends this app for their patients for those 4 reasons. Our goal is that every eye doctor recommends this for their patients, and that the patients, when they download the app, whether it be at check-in, and that's how it is in my clinic, when the patient checks in, the front desk receptionist says, download iPatient and select Dr. So-and-so as your doctor, and it's geo-targeted. So the first doctor on the list is their doctor. They select the doctor, and then the app becomes the doctor app, the doctor on the patient's phone. So to the patient, iPatient looks like their doctor's app on their phone. And that's kind of the goal, that it was kind of the seamless handshake, is that the patient would download the app, they'd select their doctor and have this eternal connection with, or this connection with their physician right from the get-go.
The ability of this
Dr.
app.
Lord, Dr. Shah, this has really been inspiring. So much hard work and labor of love to make both of these apps possible. Thank you so much for doing this for our colleagues and for our patients. Please check out their booth, download the apps. It's been a great session. I hope you guys can take in a little bit of the other events at Eyes On 2022. And thanks again.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for having us. Appreciate it.